Hello, good morning, afternoon, and evening. Welcome to practice. Let's begin on our mat. We'll come to our backs, lie completely down, extend the legs long, hands by the side. Begin to take a moment to just disconnect from the outside world and settle into the breath. Focusing on the inhalations and the exhalations. See if you can notice just one breath, inhaling and exhaling. And then begin to notice all the places where your body makes contact with the surface of your mat. Begin to notice the feeling where you are connected. Notice the weight of your body in those points of connection. And then return to the feeling of the breath. The natural feeling of the breath. Inhaling gently and exhaling slowly. Let's begin by bringing the right knee into the chest. Give it a nice squeeze, and then take the left hand and pull the right knee across the body. Extend the right arm, and take your gaze over to the right side. Now let's roll onto the back. Give that right leg a squeeze again, and then we'll switch for the left. Squeezing in, right hand, then takes the left leg across the body. Extend the left arm, maybe you cactus it if you don't have as much room. And then take your gaze over to the left side. And you can see that my leg is not touching the floor here. Yours may or may not. Don't try to force it. Just twist and breathe in the twist. And then we'll roll onto the back. Bring both knees into the chest and rock from side to side. Let's bring the hands by the sides. And what we'll do is take the feet and extend them straight up. And then flex the feet. From here, we're going to begin to engage the abs. So it's nice to have the hands along the sides of your back so you know that you remain connected with your low back to the mat as much as your back can stay connected to the mat. Keep your left foot where it is and remain flexed. Bend the right knee, bring it into the chest, and then extend the right foot long, the length of the mat. Allow the foot to hover about an inch off the mat. Now bend the knee again, bring it into the chest. Send the right foot up. Left side, bend the knee, and then extend the foot. Allow it to hover, flexing both feet. Bend the knee again, and send up. 2 more times, right side. Bend, and extend. Bend again, send up. Left side. Bend, and extend. Bend again, send up. Once more, right side. Bend, extend. Bend again, send up. Left side. Bend, and extend. bend again, send up. Now, let's do both legs. Bend and extend. Bend again. Stand up. Flex your feet. Bend and extend. Bend again. Stand up. One more time. Bend and extend. Bend again. Send up. Now bring the knees into the chest and rock from side to side. Take the right arm overhead, roll to your right side. We'll use the free hand to press ourselves up to a seated position. And from the seated position, swing the legs around. We'll come right into a tabletop. So fingers are pointed forward, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll begin in cat and cow. So as you inhale, tilt the pelvis, lower the belly, widen the collarbones, gaze goes forward. Exhale, push into the mat, chin to chest, round the back, tuck the tailbone. Now just move at your own pace with your own breath. Inhaling forward in cow and exhaling as you round in cat. And then I would invite you to play with your cat and cow. If you like to bend your elbows as you come forward in cow, then feel free to do so. Really widens the collarbone. If you enjoy pushing back in cat, hips over heels, then feel free to do so. Continue to move up and down the spine in a way that feels good to you. In this cat and cow, there are no rules, and they are free to do whatever they want to do, breathing up and down the spine. Okay, let's come to a flat back. And I'll turn to face you, just so we can see each other a little bit easier. Make sure I'm facing you. Let's start with the right side. So tuck your toes for a little bit of stability. Take your right hand, sweep it up and open, twist up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, begin to thread the needle, twist and reach, but keep the shoulder lifted. Press down into your left hand, inhale, sweep the right hand up and open. Exhale. Begin to thread the needle, twist and reach, keep the shoulder lifted. One more time, press down and reach up. Inhale, exhale. This time, thread the needle, place the shoulder on the mat, and you can take the free hand and either walk it to the top of the mat, palm side down, or you can wrap it around the low back, tucking it into the waist if that works for you. And then you just breathe into the space that you're creating between your shoulder blade or your scapula and your spine. Now let's take that free hand and we'll place it down right in front of your nose. Press down, inhale, and then we sweep that right arm up and open. Exhale, place it down. Other side. Inhale, left hand sweeps up and open. Exhale, begin to thread the needle, twist and reach. Press down into the right hand, inhale, sweep up and open. Exhale. Thread the needle. Twisting, keep the shoulder lifted one more time. Press down, inhale. Twist, reach up. Exhale, thread the needle. Place the shoulder on the mat. The free hand walks to the top of the mat, palm side down. Either stay here or wrap your hand around your low back. And breathe. Noticing the pace of your breath as you move. Noticing that your breath is still with you as you move. Let's take the free hand, slide it back in front of the nose, press down, inhale, sweep up and open. Exhale, place the hand down, and now we'll go ahead and I'm going to turn this way for this part. You can go ahead and continue facing the front of the room. So we're still in our tabletop, toes tucked for a little bit of stability. And we'll begin with the right arm lifted. Take the bicep by the ear, point the fingers toward the front of the room, and then take the left leg back. Extend through the heel, point the toes down. Stabilize through the core by pulling the low ribs in. Inhale as you reach. Exhale as you cross the body, elbow to knee. Inhaling. Exhale, cross. Inhale, reach. Exhale, touch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross. This time lengthen and hold. Now place the right hand down and the ball of the left foot down at the back of the mat. We'll then take the right foot and kick it outside of the mat like a kickstand. Lean into the right hand, left hand comes to sky. Press into the right hand and rise up. We'll bring the right arm up and over toward the extended leg. Now through the center, place the hand down and lift the leg. Flex the foot. Modified half moon. Place the foot down. Rise back up. Arm overhead. Back through the center, hand down. Lift the left leg. Left arm to sky. Once more. Over in gate pose. And then back through center, hand down, lift the leg, modified half moon. Great, let's set the foot down, bring the hand down, and bring the knee underneath of you. Let's take those hips in a circle around a giant analog clock. Make sure you travel clockwise and counterclockwise for the old timers who still read that way, or the new timers who are into checking those things out. All right, let's come back to our tabletop. I'm going to switch this direction. Tuck the toes for stability. And the left arm comes along, bicep by the ear. Take the right foot back. Extend through the heel, toes pointed down. Inhale as you reach. Exhale as you cross. Elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, cross. Inhale. Exhale, touch. Reaching. and cross. This time we lengthen and hold. Hold in the low ribs to stabilize the core. Lower the left hand. Lower the ball of the extended foot. Take the bent knee and kick that foot out of the mat. So it's like a kickstand. And then we lean into the left hand, right hand comes to sky. Maybe your gaze goes up toward the upper hand. Go ahead and set the extended foot down. And we'll press into this hand and rise up. Left arm overhead, gate pose. Really lengthening the side of the body. And then back through center. Set the hand down, lift the leg, flex the foot. Modified half moon. And then we'll flow through that 2 more times. Place the foot down, rise up into gate pose. Arm overhead. Through. Place the hand down, leg lifts, flex the foot. Once more. Arm overhead. And through the center, lifting up with the foot. Back up. Let's place the hands down. We'll walk them back toward the front of the mat and once again take the hips in a big circle. Celebratory circle for being so strong. And so helpful. All right, move these blocks out of the way. This is a gentle reminder that you will need blocks. If you use blocks, then I would go ahead and grab them for this practice. I don't use them right now, but it's nice to have them handy, and I thought I'd let you know ahead of time. So let's take the hands up about a handprint, and then bring the upper torso forward. Now notice that I kept the low ribs in, because otherwise it hangs like this, and nobody wants that. That doesn't feel good, and it doesn't look good. So anyway, we rotate the biceps forward, and then we bend at the elbows, lower all the way down. Slide the hands back, untop the toes, press into your hands, inhale up, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Now we'll take the hands outside of the mat, and we're just going to place the fingertips down, lift the palms up. Bring the elbows to 90 degrees, press into your fingertips and rise up. And then we move into the front body. Like a dancing cobra in a way that feels good to you. Maybe you hold in a spot that you find that feels good. Or maybe you just move to your own beat. Now let's lower back down. Place the hands on the mat, tuck the toes, press the hips over the heels, and then lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. It's your first downward facing dog, so take your time, pedal your feet. Bend the knees, walk the dog. People call it lots of things. I recommend shaking out the head from side to side, release the head, neck, and jaw. And then press into the hands so that you can see what it feels like to push the chest or the sternum closer to the thighs. And then release all of that effort and settle in your downward facing dog. Noticing your breath. Let's walk the hands back to the feet. We'll hang like a rag doll. And we can clasp opposite elbows and sway from side to side in a traditional rag doll. Maybe even bending into one knee at a time and then the other. And then release the hands and begin to roll up to standing. Take your time, press into the feet, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, begin to stack the spine, one on top of the other. The head comes up last. Roll the shoulders down, away from the ears, hands down by your side. Welcome to mountain pose. Really firm the thighs, lifting the kneecaps. Make this an active mountain pose, pressing the feet into the mat. Gaze forward. Inhale as we sweep the arms up. Maybe eyes look, maybe hands touch. Exhale, fold forward, out and down. Inhale, lift halfway, hands on the shins, gaze at the floor, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands and then walk them forward to a plank. Inhale at the top of the plank, pressing into the hands. Nice, firm core. Exhale as you lower, keep the elbows close to the ribs. You can lower all the way or halfway if that's in your practice. Inhale up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. All the chaturangas are optional. Choose to modify if you like. There are lots of different ways to modify in your practice. You can take your hips over your heels and lift up. You can roll over the toes. You don't have to do downward dog and upward dog and all the chaturangas. So just keep that in mind if that's how you feel today. All right, inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees. Step, hop, or float to travel to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, release to mountain pose. And feel. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Plant the hands, step back to a plank. Lower through your chaturanga. Inhale as you lift up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, bend your knees and look past your hands, step, hop, or float to travel to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach all the way up. Maybe do a back bend at the top. Slightly reach the chest toward the sky. And then exhale, fold forward, out and down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. Take the right foot to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee. Lift the arms. Low crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana. We'll lower the hands. Grab the blocks if you have them. Place them around your front foot, and then we will pull the hips back, lift the toes up. Inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, as you hinge, pull the chest toward the thigh. Flex the extended foot. And now we'll place this foot back down on the mat. Move the blocks out of the way. Place the hands down to frame the foot. Lift the right knee, step back to a plank. Lower in a chaturanga your way. Inhale up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts on the in-breath. Exhale as you place it between your hands. Lower the left knee. Inhale as we rise up with the hands. And exhale as we twist to the left. Extend the arms. Flip the front palm. Right arm overhead. Reverse. And sink into the front of the left thigh. Travel back through center, biceps by the ears, facing forward. Plant the hands to frame the front foot, lift the left knee, and then we'll take the left foot, travel up to meet the right. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale. Reach, fold forward, out and down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. Take the left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the left knee. Inhale, arms rise up. Now we lower the hands, grab the blocks. Frame the front leg, pull the hips back, lift the toes, flex the extended foot. Inhale for a flat back, exhale, fold. Now let's lower the foot to the mat, move the blocks out of the way. If you're using them, plant the hands to frame the front foot, lift the left knee, take the right foot, step it back to a plank and lower through a chaturanga. Inhale up to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back. Downward facing dog. Left leg rises on the in-breath. And exhale as we place it between the hands. Lower the right knee. Inhale. Rise up. Exhale, twist to the right. Extend the arms. Flip the front palm. Reverse your reach. Left arm overhead. Really sink down into the front of the right thigh. Travel back through center. Biceps by the ears, turn forward. Plant the hands down, lift the right knee, and then the right foot steps up to meet the left. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise and reach. And exhale, release to mountain pose. Pause and feel here. So that is the end of our short practice for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to trust that everyone takes the time to enjoy a mild stretch at the end and some meditation with their Shavasana. I'm sorry that I am not able to provide that for you today, but I got to run to teach a class over at Yoga 6 in Campbell, so I don't have to run, but I want to. And if you're going to be there, I'd love to see you there. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.